So I really welcome the announcement of an inquiry, because clearly, through all the circumstances that we're now all familiar with, there are areas that all of policing needs to look at, address, and learn the lessons. And of course, the two that I would particularly point to is around recruitment and vetting. So how we bring people in, and then how at various stages in their careers they're vetted. So that's a really key area. And then the other area, I think, is how we deal with professional standards issues when they arise with police officers. So both of those areas are absolutely critical for us to deal with, to restore public confidence in the service. And I think having an independent inquiry is a very good way for that to be dealt with, to really help us provide that reassurance. That said, and whilst I have confidence in the processes that we have, the reality is that there are clearly issues that emerge from this specific case. So I think it warrants us looking again and working with those other bodies to ensure that we are learning every lesson that we can around not only the policies, but also the practice of how that vetting is taking place in individual forces. Well, the reality is we have very clear professional standards in the service, and a clear discipline process. And of course, we also have the code of ethics by which we are all guided. But of course, it's very clear that on occasion, officers will fail to meet those standards. So really, we have processes in every force to deal with that, and those discipline processes are put into place. But once again, whilst I have confidence in that, I think the circumstances that we've seen in this case warrant a very clear look at whether we are, in all cases, operating those processes and those procedures as well as we should do and we can do. Because fundamentally, it comes down to really two aspects for me of confidence. Of course, the confidence of the public is absolutely paramount, that people recognise and understand that we are doing things properly because of the powers that we have as police officers. But also, it's about the confidence of the service. The thousands and thousands of police officers that go out every day in this country and do their job and do it well in often very difficult circumstances. We have all been betrayed by the way that Wayne Couzens acted as well. And all of us want to be sure that when somebody does fail to meet the standards that we require, and quite properly require, that they're dealt with properly. So it's something that we must do for both of those elements of confidence, and it's good to have a clear look, and also that there will be some independent oversight on that as well. There is a problem with misogyny in all parts of society, and the police is a subsection of society. But as I say, we have a particular responsibility, being the police service, and we have very clear standards of behaviour. We have a very clear code of ethics. And when people fail to live up to that standard, then it needs to be dealt with. And as leaders, I represent the leaders of the service, and all of us have a responsibility to ensure that in every one of the police services, people are living up to those standards, and also a responsibility to ensure that for any of our staff, where people see behaviours that are unacceptable, that are misogynistic, that they are being called out and we're dealing with them appropriately. And I think what we've got to do, though, is identify changes in the way that we operate that are going to actually make a difference to the experience of women and girls, and make a difference to the way that we can deal with those people that are failing to behave in the way that we would want them to behave. There are a range of offences that we can use, and this is certainly an area that, through the work that our new national lead for violence against women and girls will be doing, will be picking up this very issue. But I'm really focused on, we need to make sure that everybody understands that we take this very seriously, but at the same time that what we do is we take action that is going to have a material difference to the experience of women and girls, which is the most important issue.